So, tonight, I'm talking to you guys about gun control, specifically why it is not the best option to reduce crime. Very similar to what he did, but who knows? So basically, like I said, we're going to first talk about what gun control is for those of you who may not know, and why it's a bad idea. So first of all, gun control is the restriction of firearms. So that can be either long guns, which is basically a rifle or a shotgun, or handguns. Mostly it relates to handguns and more or less along the lines of concealed carry and open carry. Concealed carry is where your firearm, if you have a handgun, is concealed obviously where you can't see it or nobody else around you should be able to tell that you're carrying a gun. Open carry is where it has to be visible, and if it is concealed and you don't have a license to conceal it, that is then illegal. This also includes background checks, which just goes around and which basically checks, okay, were you a convicted felon? If you are, you can't have a gun. And goes and checks a couple other different things. This also revolves around ammo limitations in how much you can buy and how much can be in a magazine. And then for long guns, this limits what kind of long gun you can have, be it an assault rifle. Like, you can't own a fully automatic assault rifle. You can own a semi-automatic, but you can't own a full-on. So, in general, having concealed carry is going to be one of your best choices due to the police response time. Again, like what he said, but it's just one of your best options because police response time in so many areas is so slow that you could be killed and it could be all over. It could be all over before the police ever arrive there. For example, in Detroit, it's actually been done that you can call for the police and order a pizza, and the pizza will get there before the police do. Now, I don't know why somebody would be delivering pizza in Detroit, but that's a different story. This is a map of the world with the number of guns per 100 people. America is way up there, which is a very good thing for multiple reasons, which I will get into later. One of the biggest things is foreign militaries, and I will get into why that is a big deal. So the other countries that have strict gun control laws, for example, the European Union, their police officers don't even have guns. So, and they ban handguns and everything of all sorts. It's not going to stop the criminals from getting guns, though, because the criminals are not going to follow the law in the first place, so it's not they're going to go out and legally buy a gun. They're going to obtain it illegally, and therefore everybody is out of luck except for the ones that have the illegal gun. So this is just about the general decrease in crime versus the number of states that have allowed concealed carry. Now, as of just last year, Illinois being the last states to allow concealed carry, we technically now have all 50 states allow it in one way or another. It's not on there because I do not have data for 2013 of all of the crime rates. So this shows all the major crime rates. This is taken from the Uniform Crime Reporting Database, which is from the FBI directly. This is a chart I generated from their numbers, so it's been unaltered. And the red line is the number of states that allow concealed carry. All the other lines are all of the other crimes. Now this is per 100,000 people, so it's population independent. So it's not going to be like, okay, yes, there's going to be more crime in this state. No, this takes care of those numbers. So as you see, the more states that have allowed concealed carry, in general, crime has decreased. One of the biggest ones is property crime. You got to figure property crime being on somebody's own property. If that person is carrying, they are going to stop it. And this is also more states that are carrying. The people are not going to allow it. The criminals are going to know, oh, geez, probably somebody's going to be there. I'm on their property. This shows the recorded history of the violent crime rate. Goes all the way back to 1960, but unfortunately the number of states that allow concealed carry is only recorded up to like 1988, I believe. So just another general, you can see a general increase in crime, but as we start increasing the number of states that allow concealed carry, a large drop-off. This just goes over the concealed carry throughout the years. There's unrestricted, shall issue, may issue, and then no issue. So unrestricted means that you don't have to go and get a license or anything. You can just buy a handgun and conceal it. Shall issue means that they will issue it to you as long as you go through the training and you're not a convicted felon. May issue means that it is up to the police chief or whoever is in charge in that area And then no issue simply means that you cannot conceal a weapon. And as of 2013, every state has some form of concealed carry being allowed. This is another interesting fact of just America, as far as the guns and the percentage of people owning firearms. This is where internationally this makes a big deal, and why it is a great thing that our country has the most amount of guns per 100 people. This is because a military is easy to spot. I'm not saying we're going to be invaded. Other countries would have to be insane to try to do that against us Americans. But it's easy to distinguish a military, like I said. It's not so easy to distinguish the millions of people that have guns that are going to want to defend their land. So this is another deterrent to other countries that might try to come in and do something stupid along those lines. So this just kind of shows the percentage of people that have households with guns, and then it has the numbers. This works out to about 3 guns per adult, per person who is legally allowed to carry a gun. Now, that's the entire population. Obviously not the entire population has that, so many people have more than 3 guns and have a lot. So this breaks down to there are a lot of guns in circulation. Real quick story, the Rich Davis incident. This is where having a concealed weapon saved this man's life. He was a pizza delivery man in Detroit. There was it was just a small pizza shop that him and his wife owned, and a bunch of years back, his wife was going on delivery, and she got mugged, essentially, upon the delivery and was shot. She wasn't killed, but she was wounded, and they basically stole all the money and the pizza, unfortunately, for the money and everything else. But they had a very traumatizing incident. So they were not very rich. They did not have a lot of money. All he could afford was this H&R 22, a very inexpensive gun. He picked it up for about $13. Now, this is also from the IU files, which is a very good book about a whole bunch of incidents that where having concealed carry has saved their people's lives. And similar thing happened to him. He still got shot, but he was able to shoot his 4 assailants and get away. And he got away with his life, and the police were able to arrest the 4 assailants. Now, another interesting fact, during the Revolutionary times, this is from Armed America, another great book about this, it was required to have a gun, the head of the household to have a gun on them at all times, even when going to church. Now again, this was Revolutionary times, but it's in our heritage, it's in our past, that this is something that we need to allow, we need to not be afraid of, because this is what helped get us our freedom in the first place. And then just one last quick thing is the Gun-Free School Zones Act. This is in 1990. This forbids any unauthorized person, basically anyone who is not a police officer or somebody in power, to have any weapon on a school campus. Now, this is an issue due to the multiple unfortunate school shootings that we've had in our past. The people who are going to go and shoot and are going to shoot up places are not going to want to shoot up a place that they know people may be carrying. They're going to target the ones that are strictly forbidden, because they know it'll be an easy target. You take that away, and you'll be good. Thank you guys for listening.